So what we're targeting today is how do we tackle festivities, weddings, celebrations. We're already in October, Diwali is done with, the wedding season has just about started. December is usually an entire party month with Christmas, New Year's, and a bunch of other gigs, concerts that most of us want to attend. At least for me, I think December is that one month where you just want to break free from everything, have a good time, enjoy yourself, and then start the new year with a bunch of resolutions, which I don't know how many of us follow through. But I'm just going to guide you a little bit about how you can manage your meals, your workout, and your fitness, even while you're in this zone of wanting to break free and having to attend a bunch of festivities. So balance is key. This is something that I have spoken about in probably all my videos up until now. And when we look at any particular occasion that you need to be attending, or you have, let's say, travel coming up for a particular wedding, or you have maybe some sort of a New Year party, or anything that's going to happen in these couple of months, mainly November, December, it is mostly pre-planned. If you have to attend a wedding, you know the dates. If you have a New Year party, you know the dates. If you have Christmas, you know the dates. A brunch, you know the dates. So what we're going to try and do is balance our meals such that we don't end up really losing track or going overboard. At the same time, we still get to enjoy a little bit and ensure that we eat whatever we want, and that ideally does not then affect your body composition. So if you're in a situation where you're going to go completely all out and go overboard and not work out, then you can expect a little bit of fat gain. But if you do take care of things like your basic steps, remain active, do your workout, and eat somewhat right, then all the muscle mass that you have will take care of any extra calorie burn that will probably help you maintain a decent body composition, even though you may have gone a little off track. So keeping that in mind, it's very simple. Let's say you're going out for a dinner meal. What you ideally need to do then is balance your lunch meal and your breakfast. If you know that at dinner you're not going to be able to find enough protein, it is going to be mainly carbs, and try and cut down your carbs towards lunch and breakfast. Ensure that you add in a scoop of whey before you leave for the party or before you step out, so that at least that protein has gone in. When you're at the occasion, try and stick to whole foods. Mostly starters are tikkas or some sort of chili chicken or chili paneer or mushrooms and things like that. So if you're looking at hogging on the starters, I think that is quite sensible, because then you can probably eat a chunk of meat or a chunk of paneer, or the whole protein aspect of it gets covered with these kind of items. And then when you're looking at a main course, you can always go in for any protein item along with a little bit of rice or maybe a chapati and whatever else you wish to eat. Now, you may not always have the option of measuring or even visually measuring. So try and stick to a plate that is wholesome in terms of how many veggies you're eating or the quantity of veggies you're eating. Ensure that you're adding in some salad and some curd. If you're looking at a non-Indian meal, then again, salads are very easily available. A bunch of different salads, maybe just with leaves, maybe with beetroot, maybe with cabbage, shredded cabbage, maybe with chickpeas. Along with this, you can go in for soups. Soups are also available. You can go in for any whole grilled meat or paneer, which is cottage cheese. And in a situation where you don't find any of this at all, remember that you've still had your scoop of protein before stepping out, so there has been some protein that has kind of gone in, and then you can kind of choose from whatever is available and ensure that you eat in a limited quantity. When it comes to your lunch and breakfast, ensure that you're completing your protein in lunch and breakfast and reducing your carbs at lunch and breakfast a little bit, because A, you're not going to have a measure of what you're going to be eating out at dinner, and B, you don't know whether you will get healthy enough food, right? So at least try and target the meals that you can control and ensure that those are completely on point. And what you can't control is not something that you can do much about. Now, I have given you a scenario with regard to dinner. The same thing can be at lunch, which means that you still pack yourself with a good, heavy, protein and fat-rich breakfast. Go and eat whatever you have available at lunch from the options that I have mentioned. Um, and then at dinner, you can again ensure that you're eating a good amount of protein and fat, which will not just help you with your recovery, but also ensure that you are going to be full the entire night. Now, in a situation where you are not at a function but you happen to order in, then it is even easier, because then you can order in your own meal. Stick to your grill, stick to your whole meals. It's okay if you're out and everybody is ordering, let's say, a risotto or a pizza. You can always alternately ensure that you're getting in a protein item and still have a little bit, maybe a slice of pizza or a little bit of risotto or a little bit of pasta or whatever else, the junk that's available. It is not extremely important for you to always see whether you're getting in the exact amount of protein or carbs that you're supposed to be eating in a particular meal when you're out. It is okay to lose a little bit of that whole grammage and quantity on certain days. Obviously, we're considering this scenario to be rare, not often. I don't mean that you should just forget about measuring your food for 1 week and go on a binge spree. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know how you can control certain parts of your plate and ensure that you're still having a good time but not really affecting your body composition. For those who are on muscle gain and in general are having high amounts of carbs, you can still cut down on a little bit of carbs at breakfast and lunch, or lunch or dinner, whichever meal you're eating out, basically the other alternate 2 meals, so that you have a little bit of extra leeway when it comes to your meal out, where you can actually afford to order a little more carbs. That shouldn't be a problem. On such days when you know that you're going to be going out and you're going to be binging, ensure that you're doing your workout and hitting at least 10k steps, because then there's no guilt here. You've done your workout, you've been active through the day, you've burnt enough calories, so it is fine if you are going to go eat some junk and have a drink and kind of enjoy yourself. Now, when it comes to alcohol, if you just scroll onto the FitNut Instagram profile, there is a post that we have done specifically for alcohol. I'm just going to quickly probably add that as a slider right after I finish this video, or probably add in a link onto the chat platform. That post will show you which alcohol has the highest number of calories, which alcohol has lower calories, what happens when you add mixers, what is the best way to consume it in order to keep your calories low, and still ensure that you're having a drink. So that will be extremely helpful for you to make better choices. Cutting down on mixers and sugar juices and tonic water can be quite helpful. You can still have your gin with soda lime, you can still have vodka with soda lime, although vodka has higher calories than gin, or probably they're similar. We've also spoken about wine, the number of calories that has. We've spoken about beer, we've spoken about tequila and a bunch of other alcohol. Now, what we need to ensure is, if you're going to have 2 drinks, 3 drinks, that's easily a surplus of 600 to 700 calories on that particular day, only with regard to drinks. Leave aside your food, which is also going to be added calories. So if I just break down simply, you're probably consuming 700-800 calories with regard to alcohol, maybe another 500-600 calories with regard to junk food, and 2 more meals of breakfast, lunch, or dinner, breakfast, or whatever those 2 other meals are. So you're probably crossing your daily calorie intake by a few calories. Now, it is okay if you're on a surplus or you consume extra calories on a few days, but again, this cannot be habit. So if you do want to go on a binge and you want to ensure that you're eating whatever you want, you're drinking as much as you want, then you have to cut down on the other meals. A good way to also do this is probably fast it out. If you are well versed with fasting, then you can do like an 8 to 16, where in which you, let's say, start your first meal only at 2, ensure that you're having the meals up to a certain point at night, and then fast the next day try and do a 8 hour fast, try and do a 16-hour fast. So with fasting, what you're doing is you're very easily reducing your number of calories. Alongside that, you're ensuring you're doing your MCT oil coffee, which keeps the hunger away. And of course, ensuring that you're having a bunch of liquids in the form of water or green tea or whatever it is. Don't try fasting if you're extremely new to it, because that may be very overwhelming for you. And at the end of it all, if you stay hungry or starve yourself for so long, you will only end up eating a lot more in the meal that you will break your fast with, and then the whole purpose of fasting is lost. So try and make sure that you create that balance between your meals and fasting if you're going for fasting. And overall, just take a look at what you're eating. You're very well versed with the different food groups. You know what you're supposed to eat. So all it takes is to just be slightly conscious about the food on your plate. This does not mean you don't give the occasion or the party or just your binge spree any importance. Please give it the importance it requires, but don't forget what your plate should ideally look like, and try and match things that are consciously a little healthier. However, at the same time, you can always mix and match it with an alternate of a little bit of junk here and there. So yeah, if there's anything else with regard to festivities, planning your meals during the time where it is the party season, do comment on the chat, or you can message us personally and we'll be happy to help you.